Hello, my name is Allison Nicholas. Thank you so much for logging in to practice yoga today. I have a 60-minute Vinyasa yoga class planned, and I just wanted to commend you for your effort to self-care. I have top 10 reasons why yoga is so important for your health and well-being. One, to reduce stress. Yoga is said that it helps to reduce the primary stress hormone of cortisol. Helps to relieve anxiety and fear. Most likely because when we're practicing yoga, we're concentrating on being present here and now and not worrying about tomorrow or yesterday. 3, reduces inflammation. Said to help increase the flow of blood and oxygen, and again, helping to relieve inflammation in the body, which is a natural immune response. 4, improve heart health, reduce risk factors of heart disease like heart attack, stroke, helps to reduce blood pressure or lower blood pressure. 5, said to be a factor in improving quality of life. Most likely because it helps to improve the quality of our sleep and enhances our spiritual well-being. 6, helps to fight depression. Yoga influences the level, again, of the stress hormones in the body. I already mentioned sleep. Yoga is said to help increase the secretion of melatonin, which helps to regulate our sleep time and our wakefulness time. Yoga is well known to increase flexibility, improve balance, and strength, endurance. Yoga helps to improve breathing and lung function. There's been many studies that have been done that the amount that you can exhale increases with the work of pranayama or breath work. And then finally, yoga is said to help stimulate the vagus nerve in your brain, and so it is very effective in relieving headaches or severe migraines. So good job on getting to your yoga mat. Let us get started. We will practice a balancing pranayama or breath work to begin. Square breathing. We will inhale for 4, hold and retain for 4, exhale for 4, hold and retain for 4. We'll increase to 5, and then 6, and then we'll work our way back down, 4, and then back down, 5, and then back down to 4. Okay, so please close your eyes, find a comfortable seat, lift up through the crown of the head, lift the shoulders up towards the ears and shrug them back so that you feel the shoulder blades drawing down the back, a broadening and expanding along the chest. The sternum becomes buoyant in the chest, reaching forward and slightly up. Allow the chin to descend towards the chest to find length on the back of the neck, and then pull the back of the head towards the wall behind you. Behind the closed lids, place the focal point, or the gaze, the drishti, right at the third eye center between the eyebrows, seat of intuition. Please take an in-breath now, and exhale, release, surrender. Mouth open or closed. Inhale for counts of 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Increasing. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, retain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Increasing. 1. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Retain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Decreasing. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down to 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for the first of 3 ohms. Inhale, receive your vibration. Use as long as you like, and then big exhale to release the breath. Before you blink your eyes open, if you have an intention, something that you would like to keep in mind for your yoga practice. It can also be a prayer, a dedication, an offering. On your in-breath, receive the gifts of your practice, whatever you need today, and on your exhale, send your offering. When you feel ready, release the hands towards thighs, not already. Chin towards chest. Blink the eyes open, letting light in, just looking at the floor. And then when you're ready, lift the chin and the eyes. And then come onto your hands and knees in the tabletop shape in your body. For some cat-cows, spread the fingers wide with equal spacing, and then I like second finger to 12 o'clock. Hands should be wide, so the pinky fingers skimming the width edge of the sticky mat. Inhale, lift the chin and the sits bones. And exhale, tuck the tailbone under, pull the ribs up and in as you press down into the hands and chin towards chest, rounding. Inhale, lift, bringing the sternum and the chin forward. Even though the belly is dropping, there's still an engagement. And exhale, tuck tailbone under, pull the lower ribs up and in, and bring the chin towards the chest. And then a couple times, inhaling, lifting, and exhaling, rounding. Go at your pace. If one variation feels good in your body, then find that, and then get some creative movement in it by wagging the tail or moving the hips in circles. Chin shoulder to shoulder. And then as you're ready, we'll find our first downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, bring the hips up high. As you create this inverted letter V in your body, it's most important to have a nice straight spine rather than straight legs. So you can see my tight hamstrings create a deep knee bend for me to find a straight spine. Knees soften, and then lift the sits bones up high to the sky. Tone the pelvic floor and engage the glutes. You can pedal through the heels here and add any movement that feels good in your body. And I do this constantly throughout my practice. Adding movement helps me to keep my breath fluid. And now that we're in our practice, start to employ the Ujjayi breath, or a victorious breath, by creating a restriction at the base of the throat creates an audible, oceanic sound to the breath. Inhale, shift forward towards plank pose, stacking wrist, elbow, and shoulder, and you might need to wiggle the hands forward or the feet back. You want the shoulders and the hips about at the same height, and then a slight tip of the sits bones up, and an engagement of the glutes to hug the upper inner thighs. Rock forward onto the tiptoes, and exhale, press through the heels. Inhaling forward, shoulders come slightly past wrists, some more weight in the fingertips. And exhale back. And then as you're ready, with the shoulders past the wrist, drop the knees. Bend the elbows to lower the thighs and the hips down. Point the toes back. Curl up into your first Cobra Pose. And I tend to like higher cobras, but you're welcome to lift the hands and barely hover above the floor. Keeping the elbows bent will allow a better rotation of the shoulders back. And then like you had that head of a cobra, slide the throat back. And then there's more ease if you want to lift the chin. And exhale, lower yourself down. Push up through hands and knees and back to child's pose. You can go knees wide, big toes touch, and hands forward. Or you could bring the knees together, and the palms face up, back by the hips. Hips can stay pretty high, or you can sink the hips towards the heels, depending on how that feels in your knees. Couple big breaths. Use this pose to withdraw inward, remove the chaos around you, and just reconnect with the intimacy and the sound of your own breath and vibration. As you take great big breaths, maybe you can expand the lower back, and then we'll meet with the hands forward, back to hands and knees. Tuck the toes under, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Continue pedaling through the heels as you take little baby steps, walking the feet forward towards the front of the sticky mat. And then meeting and standing forward fold. Again, that deep knee bend so that the belly is resting on top of the thighs. Complete the forward fold in the back of the head, looking towards the navel, maybe shaking head yes and no. This is a great place for lion's breath, in which you stick the tongue out and exaggerate the next few exhales. Any movement or holding still. Inhale, we'll come into our first flat back. Bring the hands to the shins. Shoulders shrug forward towards the ears, and then roll them up so the blades are coming together on the back. Nose points down and the chin slightly towards the chest. Pull the back of the head up and the crown forward. And then as you're ready, and pausing long enough to find some equilibrium, when you're ready, hands to hips and the elbows together behind the back, knees stay softly bent, rise to standing pose. If you ever get dizzy when you rise, widen the feet or straight back down. Hands at the heart center. Exhale the hands down by the hips like Tadasana, and inhale the hands up and overhead. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Point the elbows forward, the fingertips back, slide the throat back, and lift the sternum up, pull the ribs in. Inhale, reach the arms up. Right hand reaches across for left wrist. Grow tall to the ceiling. Outer armpits roll forward, ribs pull in, tip right. Side body stretch. So you're using the hands to get the stretch between hip and shoulder. And the legs are strong, firm foundation so that you can find some stretch and freedom, movement in the upper body. In breath, rise. Switch the grip, left hand, right wrist, grow tall to the ceiling, and then tipping left. Continue to find the bandhas, or pelvic floor up, ribs in, and throat back. All three working together are called Mahabandha. Inhale, rise. Exhale, open the heart again. Cactus the elbows, throat back. Inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, swan dive over the legs. If it's better in your shoulders, you can come through midline. Standing forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Ardha Uttanasana, or half back. And exhale to standing forward Inhale, flat back again. Pause with the knees softly bent, hands to hips. Inhale, rise to standing pose. Couple more of our Surya Namaskar, some salutations. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, cactus the elbows, open the heart. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, dive over the legs. Your hand variation into standing forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, flat back. Weight drifts forward to the balls of the feet, makes it more core work. Exhale to standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Hands to hips, elbows together, rise to stand. Exhale, Uttanasana, mountain pose. Inhale the hands up and overhead. Exhale, open the heart, cactus elbows. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive over the legs, standing forward fold or Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen. And exhale, standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Chair pose, we're gonna sit the hips back and reach the arms forward. Knees pretty much over the ankles, certainly not past the toes. Reach the hands forward like you're trying to get something off the shelf that you can't quite get. And then the pinky fingers roll in, the thumbs lift up. Sit 20% deeper. Keep lifting the sits bones up and finding that engagement of the pelvic floor, toning the lower belly. Reconnect to your breath here and turn up the volume on the breath as the pose becomes more challenging. Bring the hands through the midline, standing forward fold, big exhale. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold again, Uttanasana. Chair pose or Utkatasana. Utka is translated to mean from Sanskrit, awkward. Asana, which is the name for all of our poses, means sit with ease. So awkwardly sitting with ease, reconnect to your breath. Hands through midline, big exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, standing forward fold. Last chair pose, sit the hips, reach the hands forward. Again, you can barely sit or you can really go for it, but keep control of your breath. And let your breath determine how far to take your pose. If you all of a sudden are holding your breath or kind of gasped, then back off on the posture. This time we'll inhale, rise. Exhale, open the heart. Inhale, lift the arms up. And then finding the pause, bring the hands in front of the heart. Line the thumbs up with the sternum. Sternum presses forward into the thumbs. Eyes open or closed. Reconnect to your breath. And see if you can feel the beating heart behind your hands. Receiving this prana or life force as a gift. This prayer pose, Anjali Mudra, means gifts and offerings. So letting the practice fuel you, and then consider your offering again. All right, great job. Exhale the hands down by the hips. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Open the heart if you like the bent elbow shape, or you can go with straight arms. And then diving back over the legs to standing forward fold. Inhale, lengthen and fold. Place the hands, we'll come back to our lunge pose. Step the right foot or right leg back. Lift up onto your fingertips and walk the hands back so that they're more like either side of the left heel. Widen the left heel foot to the left and the right foot to the right. Just a little bit better balance. Pull the left hip back and come onto the ball of the right foot to bring the right hip forward. And then turn on the right quad and the right glute. Find your breath here. Lift and spread just the left toes and try to tug that left heel back to turn on left hamstring and calf muscle. And And then as you're ready, rise just barely and clasp the hands just above the left knee. Again, pull the left hip back and bring the right hip forward. You can even look down at your own hips and see if they're in line or making any adjustments. Stare at a spot, something, not moving, and then when you're ready, slowly bringing the shoulders over hips. I bring my hands to my hips so I can see hips level and square. I've heard the analogy and like it, your hips are like headlights and you want to stay on the road and not swerve off into the ditch. And then as you're ready, bringing the hands up. Exhale, cactus the elbows, but pull the ribs in and the throat back. If you then want to lift the chin, go for it. Bring the arms up. Hands through the midline, down either side of the front foot. Pyramid pose, bow forward over a straight-ish, I say ish so you don't hyperextend, left leg, and come onto the ball of the back right foot. Then bend the right knee and hop the right foot forward to join the left. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Big exhale, Uttanasana, or forward fold. Place the hands, second side, left foot back, lunge pose. Pull the right hip crease back like you're scooping the right glute under and lift up through the back left inner thigh. Turn on the quad and tug that right heel back. Then finding that hovering pose, keep pulling the right hip back and lift up through the left inner thigh and turn on the left glute. And then as you're ready, slowly rise shoulders over hips. Again, hips level and square, meaning the right outer hip crease dropping and turning on that left glute. When you're ready, sweep the arms up. And exhale, open the heart either with a bent elbow shape or straight arms. Bring the hands through the midline, down either side of the front foot. Into pyramid pose, come onto the ball of the back left foot, bow forward over a straightish right leg. Lift and spread the right toes to tug that heel back. Then bend the left knee and inhale, hop left foot forward to join right. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Big exhale to fold again. Inhale, lengthen. Pause here long enough so that when you rise, you don't get dizzy. Hands to hips, elbows together behind the back. Rise with a flat, straight spine. Pause, bringing the hands palm to palm in front of the heart. Reconnect to your breath. Eyes open or closed. You can exhale with the mouth open or closed. Exhale the hands down by the hips. Moving on, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, open the heart. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, dive again, standing forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, flat back. Exhale, standing forward fold. Place the hands, right foot back lunge. Flip the right heel down so that the right toes point towards the top right corner of the yoga mat, bringing the left hip back and the right hip forward. Rise Virabhadrasana or Warrior One, but this time with hands clasped together behind the back. And you can go wide wrists or squeeze the palms, but try to keep a little bend in the elbow to not stress the shoulder joint. Drawing the head of the arm bones back, lifting the sternum, but pull the ribs in and keep tugging that left heel back. Throat back. Humble warrior. Take an inhale here. And an exhale, reach the crown of the head forward, aiming the left shoulder towards the left knee. As you release the crown of the head towards the floor, arms lift up. Pull the lower belly up and away from the left thigh and try to look towards the navel. Keep pulling the left hip crease back. Dig the right heel down and squeeze the heels towards each other. Breathe. Inhale, slow motion, rise warrior one or Virabhadrasana one. This time we'll sweep the arms up. And we'll make it a twist. So bringing the right hand forward and the left hand back. Palms both facing left in the direction that you're twisting, pulling that left hip back and the lower belly in. If you want to turn the gaze, go for it. It's better for the neck to look straight ahead. Think about throat back and chin towards chest. And then lowering that left hand, bringing both hands up. Exhale, open the heart. Inhale, bring the hands up. Down other side of the front foot. Lift the right heel. Hips come high like pyramid pose. Bend the right knee and inhale, hop right foot forward to join left. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold again. Second side, hands down, left foot back lunge, and then left heel flips down, left toes point towards the left corner of the mat. I tend to widen my right foot to the right also. Drishti or gaze slightly ahead of you. Inhale, rise. Take your time to readjust your feet by bringing the right hip back and the left hip forward. That might mean you shorten the stance, or you bring the left foot more to the left and widen the feet. Clasp the hands together behind the back. Keep pulling the right hip back and like you're scooping that right glute under, lift up through the left inner thigh. Open the heart, pulling the ribs in, throat back, keeping the elbows kind of softly bent. Exhale, humble warrior. Reach the crown forward as you aim the right shoulder towards the right knee and pull the right hip back towards the wall behind you. Crown reaches towards the floor, gaze towards navel or back towards hips. Keep digging that back left heel into the sticky mat and tugging the right heel back. Keep the breath victorious and turn up the volume on the breath as the pose is challenging. In breath, rise back to warrior one. And then we will twist. So the left hand forward and the right hand back. Good. So you're twisting right. Keep pulling the right hip back. Lower the right hand, and then open the heart. Lifting the arms up. Bring the arms up. Hands down on the other side of the front foot. Lift the back left heel, bend the left knee, and inhale, hop left foot forward to join right. Back to the front of the yoga mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold again, standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Hands to hips, elbows together behind the back, rise to standing pose. And again, that pause, hands either palm to palm in front of the heart. Hands down by the hips, eyes open or eyes closed. All right, a wrist stretch. Take a break from all the standing postures. Bring the hands out in front of you. Right hand over left. Thumbs turn down and the hands clasp. Elbows bend and the hands come towards your heart. And then the elbows drop and the hands up towards your chin. And then depending on the flexibility in your right thumb and your wrist, the hands start to reach forward. The trick here is trying to soften the shoulders and unfurrow the brow. Release the jaw as you try to let the tension dissipate completely rather than transferring it. And then when you're ready, unwind the hands. And second side, left over right, thumbs down, hands clasp. Elbows bend, hands towards your heart, hands up towards your chin. You might observe differences side to side. Slowly unwind the hands. Good. And then hands out like you're like a T or a cross. Wrap the thumbs in and wrap the fingers around the thumbs. Keep the palms facing forward and then turn just the knuckles down. You might get a lot of sensation on one of these postures and not a lot on another. And then when you're ready, lift the hands and turn the palms to face down, and then angle the knuckles down. People often ask, where am I supposed to feel this posture or any particular posture? And the yoga poses tend to bring sensation where you need to increase strength or flexibility. So it's different for each one of us. And then release the hands and unwind. And then after that, maybe like flashlight hands or roll the hands around the wrists. We'll come into tree pose or Vrksasana next, or our standing balancing posture. Stand on the left foot. Pick out your drishti or your gaze on something not moving and bend the right knee. Clasp the hands around the right shin. Strong arms draw the knee to the shoulder and try to keep letting the sits bones press back, and then roll the right foot around the ankle, go both directions. If you hear any little snaps or pops, that's synovial fluid increasing and lubricating the joint. So that's good. And then placing the foot to the inside of the standing left leg, and I would like you to be either above or below the knee, because you're going to press the foot into the leg and the leg presses back. We obviously wouldn't want to do that on our knee. Now your work is to not sink into that left hip, but to pull the left hip crease in, and then knit the ribs towards each other as you lift the chest up. Chin slightly towards chest, back of the head towards the wall behind you. And then your branches, you could be like an evergreen or an aspen tree and reach up towards the light, which they say trees are the symbol of enlightenment. Keep hugging the midline and the legs, turning on the glutes. Arms are like in a streamlined position. Squeeze biceps around ears. Keep pulling the lower belly in and embodying the way a tree draws up energy through their roots. Employ the pelvic floor up. Allow the fluctuation of balance to happen in the standing left ankle. That's where we build strength. And then as you're ready, hands come to heart. We'll keep the right knee lifted, but then bending the right knee so there's this 90-degree bend at the hip, the knee, and through the heel. And then right hand to right hip, left hand to right knee. We're going to twist again, though not coming from the hips. The hips stay level and square. The twist is in the thoracic or upper spine. And you can turn the gaze or not. If you're working to turn the gaze, I recommend finding a spot not moving, staring at it a breath or two, and then finding the next spot. And you can extend the arms, and or leg. I keep my knee bent so I can have a straight spine, because my hamstrings don't quite allow a straight leg as well. And then when you're ready, coming forward, stand on both feet. And any movement, bending the knees, or circles with the hips, ankles. And then second side. We'll stand on the right foot, pick out your drishti, that gaze in which you will stare at, something not moving. Bend the left knee. Clasp the hands around the left shin. Strong arms draw the left knee towards the shoulder, roll the foot around the ankle. One direction and then the other. And then as you're ready, right hand to right hip, you can use the left hand to help place the left foot above or below the standing right knee. Keep pulling that right hip crease in, not letting the right hip reach out to the right. My girlfriend calls it mommy hip, that she'd hold her baby on her hip. Press the foot into the leg and the leg presses back. Angle the right rib cage back a little bit. We tend to angle towards the left knee and knit the ribs in towards each other. Lifting up through the chest, keep pulling the lowest rib towards the hip point, transverse abdominal muscles. Chin slightly towards chest, creates like a double chin and that restriction at the base of the throat to aid with the audible breath. And then finding your branch variation. I like the completion of the mudra, the hand variation, as the OK sign, clarity and concentration, Jnana mudra. It's said that the Buddha sat beneath a Bodhi tree when he found enlightenment. So trees are the symbol of enlightenment because they grow up towards the light. Keep toning the pelvic floor and the lower belly as if drawing up energy through your roots. Trees are a great posture to do to help ground during times of uncertainty or flux. Keep the breath fluid and smooth. Pausing at the top of the inhale, pausing at the bottom of the exhale. As you're ready to release the pose, the hands come back, palm to palm in front of the heart, Anjali mudra. And then we'll keep the left knee lifted, but turn the left knee forward. 90-degree bend at the hip crease, the knee and the ankle. Left hand, left hip, point the elbow back. Right hand, left knee. Press down into the standing right foot to stand tall. And then reach across with the right hand as you pull the left shoulder back. Throat back. If you want to start to turn the gaze, find a spot not moving, stare at it. Couple breaths, find the next spot, but the twist is coming from the thoracic or middle spine, not by moving the hips. If you found leg variations, when you're ready, gaze forward, stand on both feet. And again, find that pause. Hands palm to palm in front of the heart, eyes open or closed. Reconnect to your breath, your intention. Sometimes your intention can be stated as an I am statement. I am grateful. I am healthy. I am blessed. Hands down by the hips, Tadasana. Inhale the hands up and overhead. Urdhva. Open the heart, bent elbows or straight arms. And then exhale, dive again. Standing forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to fold. Good. Heel toe the feet wide, as wider than hip width distance apart. Good. My hands are like in a tent shape. Inhale, lengthen the spine. We're going to twist again here. So my knees are slightly bent and my glutes are engaged, my pelvic floor toned and lifting. Right hand stays as my anchor, and I'm going to bring my left hand to my sacrum to find level and square hips, and then twisting left. Throat back, chin slightly towards chest. Good. Even turning the inside of the right elbow slightly forward. Pressing down into that right hand to find more twist. And think inhale, lengthening, and exhale, twisting. Keep squeezing the feet towards each other like they're magnetic. And then hand and gaze down. Left hand is the anchor. Right hand to the lower back to feel hips level and square. Press down into the left hand. Turn the inside of the left elbow forward. Twisting to the right. It's up to you whether you turn the gaze or not. Oftentimes, the left hip drops as we twist right, so keep lifting up through the left hip. And then hands down. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And remember, you can bend the knees as much as you need, but then turn the hands around so that you're walking your hands between your legs. And just as long as your arms will reach, claw the fingertips in, and then start to bend the elbows as you pull the chest more through the legs and weight comes into the balls of the feet. Lift and spread just the toes, and it will act as like brakes to keep you from somersaulting forward. Maybe shaking head yes and no. And then turning the hands around, inhale, lengthen the spine again. Heel toe, just turn the heels in and the toes out wide. And then we'll come up into goddess pose. So rising shoulders over hips. Knees can stay bent. And imagine your back sliding down the wall rather than bending the knees and letting the head forward. Hands at the heart. Lift and spread the toes and squeeze the heels together. Keep lifting up the heart. And then lifting the right heel and digging that right heel down, lift the left heel. And then digging the left heel down, maybe both heels. And then both heels down. Inhale, rise, and heel toe the feet back together. Again, finding your pause and observe the energy in the body. Thank yourself for your practice and your discipline. By following through with your discipline leads to this sense of satisfaction, contentment, or santosha in Sanskrit, one of our niyamas, second limb of yoga. We'll come into another hip opening pose. I always feel like these standing poses bring a lot of increased blood and circulation to the hips, so the best time to get a deeper stretch. We'll start with the hands at the hips, and then standing on the left foot, all I want you to do is roll the right foot around the ankle. Go both directions, and then second side, stand on the right foot, do the left side. This is a one-legged chair. So you'll stand on the left leg and bend the right knee. Press into the ball of the foot and point the toes back towards the knee to maintain the muscular engagement and protect the soft tissue behind the patella. Hands at heart center to start. As you start to sit the hips back, try to keep the hips moving straight back rather than the tendency to angle the left hip to the left. And you can barely sit. As you sit deeper, the sensation will increase in the hips, so also turn up the volume of the breath. And hands can be one hand to the knee, one to the foot, or reaching hands forward. Play with your variation. Keep your drishti, maintaining that focal point. And then bending the left knee enough to get the hands to the floor, or you can use blocks or books or a pillow, something to bring the floor to you. Press down into the hands, and maybe starting to walk the hands back would increase. You might walk the hands forward because there's plenty of sensation going on in the hips. Maybe releasing the head. And then as you're ready, we're going to step the right foot, crossing the right leg in front of the left. So feet are crossed, legs are crossed, and they can be staggered or more parallel. Walk the hands over to the right. And then inhaling, finding center, walk the hands over to the left. If you want more, walk the hands further away from the feet or closer to the feet. If you need to back off on the sensation, this is great for the IT band. The outside of the hip all the way down the leg towards the knee. And then as you're ready, hands come center and unwind the feet. Inhale, flat back, rise to standing pose. Second side, stand on the right foot, bend the left knee out to the left. One-legged chairs, you start to sit the hips back. Again, trying not to let the right hip move out to the right, just hips straight back. And you play with it. The deeper you sit, the more sensation in the hips. So maybe you barely sit, maybe you really go for it. Hands can be at the heart. One hand could hold the foot and one to the knee. Or most sensation yet, hands forward. Keep pulling the right hip back. And then bringing the hands through the midline, bend the right knee to bring the hands to the floor or blocks or pillow, books. Pressing down into the hands to lift the sits bones high. Pull the belly up and in. And then again, bending both knees enough. Bring the left foot down to the floor. So now the left leg and foot is crossed in front of the right. Try not to hyperextend through the back right knee. Bring the hands 12 to 18 inches out in front of the toes, more or less depending on your height. And then walk the hands over to the left. Pull the belly up and in as you press down into the hands. Even trying to pull that right hip back, sending the energy of the breath to the sensation. And then drifting center with the hands and over to the left. Find center with the hands and then uncross the feet. Inhale, lengthen, flat back, hands to hips, rise to standing pose. Again, that pause, hands palm to palm in front of the heart. Reconnect to your breath. We'll work our way down to the floor. So any way that you would like to sit down. And then bringing the hands back behind you, the knees are bent. Keep the chest lifted so the elbows bend a little bit. And the four corners of the feet are down, but just the toes lifted and spread. Kind of tug the heels towards the seat. And then windshield wiper the feet side to side. And you can play with the sensation or the weight of your body on your hips. And then let us meet with the knees pointing right. We'll twist left hand towards the right knee. Point the left hip towards the right knee to initiate the twist at the base of the spine. And then hands can come to the outside of the right leg. The more you press down into your finger pads, the more success you'll have at finding the twist in the thoracic or middle spine. Keep toning the pelvic floor, drawing the navel in with each exhale like you're squeezing out all the air. Chin slightly towards chest. And you can maintain a nice straight spine, but if you want to add intensity, you can start to bend the elbows and lower the chest. My bolster is close, so I could even use that. And then as you're ready, slowly finding center, take the left hand, bring it behind the left knee, and use it to help cross the left knee over the right for a seated spinal twist. Left hand comes back behind you, and the right hand crosses towards the left knee, and you can either hook the elbow or you could hug. Press down with the back hand to sit tall. And again, chin slightly towards chest. Reach across with the right hand. Pull the left shoulder back. The last thing to turn would be the head, if you would like to turn the gaze. And again, think inhale length as you press down into the back hand. Find the crown towards the ceiling, and then exhale, twisting. Squeezing out all the air, making more space for the twist. Your breath finds you center, and then twisting to the right. There's an arm balance here that we could do if you would like to try it. It's called side crow. So we are back twisting to the left. The hands come out in front of you and the elbows bend. So I'm going to aim my left elbow towards my left hip and my right elbow towards my left knee. And I'm going to turn again for a different view. So bringing the hands out in front of you and come up onto your knee. Bend the elbows so that you create the shelf for the left leg. Gaze forward. And then maybe the legs lift. You can play with the leg variation. When you're ready to release out of side crow, we'll start the sequence over again. So we started it with the knees bent, and then again that windshield wiper of the knees side to side. We'll meet with the knees pointing left, lining the left heel up with the right knee, point the right hip towards the left knee, so that initiates the twist at the base of the spine. And then the hands are to the outside of the left leg. Press down into the hands, tone the lower belly. Chin slightly towards chest, head back. And then if you want to add the intensity, keep the straight spine, but you can start to bend the elbows, lowering the chest. Return to the fluidity and control over your breath, using the sound of your breath to help your focus. Said that the breath control also helps to calm the nervous system down. And then as you're ready, slowly rising, right hand to the right knee, and cross the right knee over the left. If you find that both sits bones aren't rooting down, then you can straighten the left leg and it will root that both sits bones down. Our seated spinal twist, the right hand comes back and press down into the back hand to find that tall spine. Left elbow can either hug the right knee or you can hook the elbow. Press down into the back hand, sending the sternum forward. Reach forward with the left hand. Bring the right shoulder back. And then with the throat back, if you want to start to turn the gaze, go for it. And then inhaling, coming forward and countering with an open twist, twisting to the left. And then our side crow variation. So you're still twisting to the right. Right elbow, right hip. Left elbow, right knee. And then I have to find my way on up to my left knee. And then I make contact elbow to hip, elbow to knee. Gaze is forward. Maybe leg variations. Coming back to your seat. Bring the feet out in front of you and lower yourself down onto your back, please. Hug your knees into your chest. Close the eyes. Roll circles around the lower back, either by moving the knees as one unit or separate circles. You can also roll the feet around the ankles. We'll do just a little bit of core work. Bend the knees so that the knees are directly over the hips and you're flexing through the feet. Take the hands just below the knees and hug the knees into the chest. But the straight, strong arms are lifting the knees up to the ceiling and keeping the knees from pulling into the chest. Chin slightly towards chest. Keep the breath. And then bending the knees, resting the feet onto the floor. Bridge pose or Setu Bandhasana. Inhale, lift the hips up off the sticky mat. And then one shoulder at a time. Lift a shoulder up to the ear and roll it under. Lift the other shoulder up to the ear and roll it under so that you feel the shoulder blades together on the back to open up the chest. You're welcome to clasp the hands beneath the hips. Inner edges of the feet, you can't see them, but they're parallel. And tug the heels back to turn on the hamstrings and calf muscles. Press the feet down to lift the hips up high. This is creating a restriction at the base of the throat. And so in conjunction with the next pose in which we'll open up the throat, this sequence is good for the thyroid gland, which sits at the base of the throat and helps to regulate hormone. And then when you're ready, slow motion, lower the hips back down to the sticky mat. You can release the hands. Your next pose to open up the throat, you have a couple options. You can either come into fish pose, extending the legs, lifting up onto your forearms, lift the chest up and the top of the head towards the floor. You can always use a block to help support either your head or underneath your shoulder blades. That's one option. The second option, if you'd like to take it, would be Urdhva Dhanurasana, which is wheel pose. So the hands come, fingers point towards the shoulders, the elbows bend. On my inhale, I'm going to lift up just to the head. I'm pulling my shoulders back and bringing my heart forward. Turn your inner edges of the feet parallel. And then it's like a big push-up, straighten the arms. When you feel ready, releasing. Straightening the legs. Reaching the arms up and overhead. Just get long first before hugging the knees into the chest. Last pose will be a twisting posture, and then we'll come into Shavasana. Hug the left knee into the chest. And then crossing the left knee to the right. At the same time, you have to pick the hips up to slide the right hip beneath the left. And then lift the right shoulder up towards the ear. Ideally here, hips are stacked between the shoulders. I like to point my nose straight up, but some people like to turn the head to look over the left shoulder. You can keep the left knee bent or you can straighten the leg, your choice. Inhale, bringing the knee to center. Extend the left leg straight. Right knee hugs in. And then crossing the right knee to the left. And again, it's simultaneously picking the hips up to slide the left hip beneath the right. The right hip crease is pointing down towards the left toes. Left toes can turn with the twist. And then when you're ready, slowly bringing the knee back to center. Hug both knees into the chest, and then any final finishing postures before Shavasana. Shavasana is corpse pose, in which you consider letting anything that does not serve you die away. Hands face palm up, slightly away from the hips. Legs can finally just flop off to the sides. Eyes closed, and behind the closed lids, place your focal point at the third eye center. While we worked on control of the breath the entire practice, here in Shavasana you might observe the breath becoming quiet and more shallow. At the same time, feel the body sinking, becoming very heavy, yet fully supported. You're welcome to pause the video at this point to take a longer Shavasana. As you're ready to release out of Shavasana, bend the knees, placing the feet back under the floor. Add any pleasurable movement to wake from this pose. But then the right arm reaches overhead. Roll over onto your right side, using your bicep like a pillow. Press down into the left hand. Inhale, slowly rise back to your seat, in which we'll meet in our seated pose, which is called Sukhasana, happy sit with ease. The eyes closed. We'll meet with the hands palm to palm in front of the heart. The elbows slightly forward to help bring the shoulders back and the sternum forward. Chin slightly towards chest, length on the back of the neck. Please use Anjali Mudra in this finishing pose to receive the gifts of your practice. Whether it's a more restful night of sleep tonight, a more peaceful feeling, a sense of santosha or contentment. Allow the practice to fill you up, allowing you to be more willing and able to show up and extend out to others. Maybe it's through a prayer or sending loving kindness. And then finally, we'll seal our practice in a traditional way by chanting Om together 3 times. Om is the universal sound, connecting to the vibration within and around. sync our breath, please inhale. And exhale. Inhale, prepare. Receive your vibration. Exhale, release. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice. So, the divine light in me honors to look and see that in you. Namaste.